Okay, within this packet there are three documents. The first one is the justification. And basically we'll just go down justification for imposing moratorium on the establishment, placement, construction, enlargement, and erection of industrial wind energy conversion systems within the township. Township Board responsibilities include preserve and protect public health, safety, welfare, and the quality of life for all township residents. Perform due diligence when new issues arise and take actions where appropriate to fulfill the above stated responsibility. In enacted action, they established a volunteer citizens committee tasked to review impacts that may be associated with industrial wind turbines and recommend actions that will support the township in fulfilling its responsibilities to all residents of Ogden for preserving and protecting public health, safety, welfare, and the quality of life. The Citizens Committee responsibilities include to research and report back to the Township Board information relating to potential impacts, along with recommendations for the regulation of activities to preserve and protect public health, safety, welfare, and the quality of life to the township residents. And here's our approach. The first thing that we did was we developed a list of impacts that focus on public health, safety, welfare, and the quality of life within the township. Next, which is from here forward, these are future actions. We're going to identify the stakeholders related to the list of impacts. And the stakeholders may include, but not be limited to, the wind development companies, public officials, government, or other regulatory agencies, recognized experts in associated focus areas, attorneys, representatives of groups or companies outside of the township that may have activities potentially affected by industrial wind turbines from within our township, or other communities that may already have addressed the same issues, or others that may provide value-added information relevant to this process. We're going to issue written correspondence to each stakeholder, identifying the purpose of our contact, with the expectation of receiving written responses of requested information, concerns, position statements, or other related information. We plan to visit areas of similar rural character with industrial wind turbine installations, existing or under construction, and at similar quantities in order to gain insights to aid our evaluation. Then we'll organize this information to maintain focus on the most critical elements. We will research and evaluate options to mitigate impacts. We then will prepare a report summarizing the committee's findings along with recommended actions. And incorporated into this report will be all the documentation and other information collected during this process. And then we will submit this final report to the Township Board of our findings along with our recommendations. Now, the recommended duration of the moratorium is 12 months. And the intent is to allow sufficient time for enactment of reasonable regulations pertaining to the establishment, placement, construction, enlargement, and erection of industrial wind energy conversion systems to adequately protect the public health, safety, and welfare of all township residents. The timeline provides for the following phases of the development of a regulating ordinance. Committee research, evaluation, and summarization of findings, duration of 6 months. Township Board to review committee report and prepare a draft regulation ordinance, 2 months. Township Attorney to review draft regulation ordinance and respond with recommended changes or revisions to ensure the ordinance complies with the laws of the state of Michigan, 2 months. And Township Board to review and incorporate attorney recommended changes into regulation ordinance, discuss in public meetings, and enact into law the final regulation ordinance, 2 months. That's a total of 12 months. The second document in this packet is just a one-page timeline that summarizes the phases of the project. And basically what it does is it shows that the committee's actions are going to go from month 1 to month 6, which is an aggressive schedule based on, the the work that we have to do. But it is our position that we will submit a report to the board, a complete report that has all of our findings along with recommendations. From that point forward, the remaining 6 months relates to the administrative process around developing the ordinance and submitting it for legal review, getting it back, and then making the final changes and then acting upon it. So that's how we determine the 12-month time period. The final document in here is just a draft copy of an ordinance. And forgive me if I stepped out of line by preparing these in advance, but I thought that it would help the board just to be able to get a head start on this. So this industrial wind energy conversion system moratorium ordinance. An ordinance pursuant to Public Act 246 to secure the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens, residents, and property owners of Ogden Township by imposing a moratorium on the establishment, placement, construction, enlargement, and/or erection of industrial wind energy conversion systems within the township, and to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith. The Township Board of Ogden Township, Lenawee County, Michigan ordains Section 1 is the title. This ordinance shall be known as the Ogden Township Industrial Wind Energy Conversion System Moratorium Ordinance, hereinafter referred to as ordinance. Section 2 is the purpose. The Township Board has become aware of a significant number of options, easements, and leases being secured within the township by a number of companies for industrial wind energy conversion system. It is clear that applications for these industrial wind energy conversion systems may be proliferating. The rapidly evolving technology and the unique location of wind corridors within township indicate that applications for the construction and location of industrial wind energy conversion systems may be imminent. The integration of these industrial wind energy conversion systems within the township's existing pattern of predominantly residential and agricultural land use emphasizes the need for suitable regulations and controls with reference to industrial wind energy conversion systems. The Township Board is vested with the authority to establish reasonable requirements and regulations to govern and control industrial wind energy conversion systems within the township in order to protect the public health, safety, and welfare of the township residents and their property. The Township Board requires sufficient time for enactment of reasonable regulations pertaining to the establishment, placement, construction, enlargement, and/or erection of industrial wind energy conversion systems in order to adequately protect the public health, safety, and welfare of the township residents. Section 3, the definitions. When used in this ordinance, Township Board shall mean the Ogden Township Board or such committee or commission appointed by and to which the Ogden Township Board's authority has been duly and properly delegated. Industrial wind energy conversion systems shall include all equipment that is used to convert, store, and/or transfer energy from wind into usable forms of energy, and includes any wind turbines or wind generators, as well as any bases, blades, foundations, generators, nacelles, rotors, towers, transformers, turbines, vanes, wires, or other components used in such a system whose purpose is to provide electricity to the electric utility grid. Section 4 is the regulation. Pursuant to Public Act 246, the statutory powers vested in Ogden Township to regulate activities within the township for the protection of health, safety, and welfare of its residents, the Township Board hereby declares a moratorium on the establishment, placement, construction, enlargement, and/or erection of industrial wind energy conversion systems within the township. Duration of the ordinance is Section 5. The moratorium shall remain in effect for a period of 12 months following the effective date of the ordinance, or until appropriate township ordinances governing industrial wind energy conversion systems have been adopted and become effective, whichever event occurs first. Section 6 is severability. This ordinance and the various parts, sentences, paragraphs, sections, subsections, phrases, and clauses are hereby declared severable, and if any of them are adjudged unconstitutional or invalid, it is hereby declared that the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected by such determination. Section 8 is prior and inconsistent ordinances repealed. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are, to the extent of such conflict, repealed so as to give this ordinance full force and effect. Section 8, the effective date. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon publication as required by law following adoption of the Township Board.